See, I've been at Oxnard for 16 years now, and I do everything from readying the teams with my terrific assistant for travel. I run all the home games. I'm at every home contest where I'm the PA for soccer and basketball and baseball, softball. And then we have cross country, which we actually have a home meet there.
You have like a cross country course?
Yeah, on campus. Yeah, we set up a nice 4 mile and a 5K for the women.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. We can run a couple of events there on campus. And then what else? I try and get out and raise a little bit of money, which I don't do very well at, but that's why I'm here, to ask your listeners for a little donation from the other side of the river. God, what else do I do? It's crazy. When I get into the office, I've got a list of things that I want to get to, and then usually the daily deluge of emails comes up, and that's what I get to. I get to the top-down method of emails and just prioritize and then try and get to some important stuff.
Mostly putting out fires?
Yeah, no pun intended, but we have our fair share. We're small. We're only 8 sports, I mentioned. So it doesn't sound like much, but there's always some issue to deal with and some positives as well. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
So what do you like about being the AD?
I like the contact with the students. They keep me young.
Yeah.
They keep me fresh. They keep me energized. They of course you got to make a salary, right? You got to pay the rent, but the second most important is when they come back and they say they had a great experience at Oxnard, and we get quite a few of those. So, and the winning's nice as well. We don't probably do it as much as we'd like, but that's primary. Of course, you got to compete and win, but when we get kids who are or athletes who I don't know if they would continue their athletic careers in college, but we give them that opportunity and they come back and show appreciation. That's the juice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot different than a 4-year school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Commitment wise.
Sure. Well, they're committed.
Yeah.
But they're not on scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it for the love of the sport and the chance to move on and pursue their goals, whether that's athletic or academic or even career ed, so that's where it's a nice level. 2-year level is a really great thing that we have here in California.
Have you always been in like the education space? I know you've coached golf before.
Yeah. I coached golf. I was an assistant AD at Palomar College for a couple years while I was coaching. That's how I got my feet wet under Scott Cathcart, who was my mentor and the AD at the time down there.
That's near San Diego, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's in the North San Diego County, right across from Cal State, San Marcos. So we lived down there. Before that, I was in Japan. I was in Japan for 4 years, and I was in education per se, but I was teaching English in Japan. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a little sideways from after getting out of San Diego State with a marketing degree, and I thought the economy was kind of tanking, and I didn't want to go back to school, and I thought, okay, what can we do? And I thought, I think I read a book, and I had a classmate, and he was Japanese, and he said, if you want to stay with me, you can. And a trip over turned into 4 years and a marriage and 2 kids later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really changed your life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It gave me a great perspective. Yeah.
And it's one of those I don't know, surprises, great surprises. You had no idea it was coming.
No, I didn't know what I was getting into. I just graduated college. I thought I knew everything because I was a graduate. Yeah. And I got there and I knew nothing. I didn't know how to speak. I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know the culture. So it was an education for sure. that was my graduate school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, did you pick Japan for any reason besides you had a friend that was Japanese?
No, it was appealing because I knew the socioeconomic, it was safe, it was, the economy was really good over there at the time. I knew I could make some money. I read a book called How to Make $1 Million. And I thought, hey, it was a great title, yeah. And I did. Now, 150 yen to the dollar, so that was a good play on words. But you needed at the time I needed my 4-year degree to get my work visa. So I went over and found a company to sponsor my visa, and the rest was history. But it was definitely a life changer and something I would never trade for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's a great surprise. It's like I started playing guitar in college and just like fell in love with it. I didn't know it would change my life, but it did.
Right. You don't realize when you started out, right, playing guitar, but you're like, wow, this is a little deeper than just playing an instrument.
Yeah. But yeah. I didn't leave the country for 4 years. I mean,
well, you went to Kansas, right? You went to
Missouri. Yeah.
Missouri, yeah, Kansas City or
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay, yeah. I just, I don't know. Well, I do know why I did it. The prospects of staying and working in marketing, because I was a marketing major, really didn't appeal to me. And so I thought I should go back to school. But then, after spending all that time in school, I thought, do I really want to go back to school again? And the answer was no. So I thought I can go make some money and learn some things, learn a language.
Did you have to get another advanced degree to get more into marketing? Or why were you thinking you had to go back to school?
Well, because the jobs at the time were really lacking. They just, the low-level entry marketing jobs, they were at the time were paying not very well.
Yeah.
And like I said, the economy, that was back in 95. And we were going through one of those troughs that California goes through every 10 to 12 years, it seemed. And so my roommate had gotten out of college, and he was just not getting great offers, the same degree. And he even had connections. And I didn't have any of those connections. And I thought, oh, this is not going the way I thought. So I took a detour, a long one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a 6,000-mile detour. Yeah, so
a wife and kids later.
That part, who would have thought it, but I just I fell in love with the people, one in particular, and just really, really kind people in Japan. It's so compact and so, I don't know, it's so different, but like I said, clean, safe, and a really nice experience. That I don't know if you ever been over there, but
no, I haven't.
Yeah, everybody who's been and who I meet who's gone, they really enjoy it. So I highly recommend it if you ever get the opportunity.
Yeah, I'd love to one day.
Yep.
Sorry, back to Oxnard College.
Yeah.
You taught abroad English.
Mm-hmm.
You coached
golf.
How was that?
Awesome. I played golf myself at the community college level 2 years. I played pretty well. I set out to be the next, not Tiger Woods because I'm a little older, but I wanted to be a professional. And as most of us do who played a sport, you have that aspiration. And Eldrick Woods was coming up, and it didn't help that he was younger and just dominating. And I thought, well, if I can't beat a kid, I started to doubt myself. Little doubt crept in, and then I went to San Diego State. They cut 8 sports when I got there, golf being one of them. And so I put the clubs on the shelf and just stayed in school because I didn't want to transfer.
Like right when you got there?
Right when I got there.
So you didn't.
I was trying to be a walk-on. Like I didn't
Right.
have a scholarship or anything.
Right.
I played really well at the 2-year, but I wanted to go to San Diego State, and I went, and I thought I'm going to walk on and I'm going to make it. Like I was that confident, my game was that good at the time, and I thought, okay, I'm going to make this.
And they just cut it.
And they cut 8 sports. It was a bad time in California. The economy was really bad.
I guess so.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a big state school. They don't
Big
usually
state school,
cut-
yeah. Yeah, no, they cut wrestling and tennis and golf and all kinds, maybe aquatics. I can't quite remember. I was just stunned, and I had to make a decision. Do I transfer, sit out for a year, and then go transfer? But I had already been established, got upper division business, and I'm like, hey, I'm rolling. I can do this, you know. And so I said, the heck with it. But then I'm sitting at a football game, and they're making an announcement, oh, we're bringing golf back. We got a donation from Callaway for $500,000. We're bringing it back. I'm like, well, here we go, right? A year later, I mean, my game had since declined. But anyway, that's the end of the collegiate story there, and enough about me. But I got enough. When I came back from Japan, I realized I went into sales and marketing, and I didn't want to do that. And I missed golf, and I missed being in athletics. Mm-hmm. And so I started teaching. I worked my way up. I was like an assistant at a golf school. And then, funnily enough, I see my former golf coach from junior college. He's playing at a golf course. And I'm putting all the stuff away in one of those big containers. And I see somebody behind the container, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing, right? And I kind of peek, and there's some guy taking a leak on the back of our container. And I'm like, hey, because I was like between 9 and 10, and they're like, somebody's going to the bathroom on our container. I go, hey, what are you doing? I yell at him, and he pokes his head over, and he kind of looks at me, and I look at him, and he goes, Crawford. And I go, Coach, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, you're peeing on my container. Anyway, he starts telling me, pardon me, he starts telling me that he's transferred to Palomar, and he's coaching and teaching. And I asked him, hey, you guys have a golf team? Yeah. And he goes, you might as well put your resume in and see if the head coach needs help. And so I did, and no, coach doesn't need any help. And right before the season that year, I get a call from the AD, and he goes, hey, how do you want to teach? You want to coach golf? And I'm like, what? And anyway, the coach had suffered a stroke right before the season, and the guy needed somebody to take the team. And I'm like, sure, why not? So that was the start of my coaching career.
Wow.
Talk about, misfortune for one. And I, Coach Lusky, may he rest in peace. But that was the start of my coaching career. And then I did that for 10 years. The last couple, we got a new AD, and he needed help. And I wanted to be a full-time golf coach, but I knew golf is not, it's not football. It's not basketball. It's not a major sport. Yeah. And I see the writing on the wall, and I go, hey, I want to help you. I'd like to help you run this athletic department. And he goes, bring it on. You're going to work for free. But, and I got paid a little bit, but a stipend and not very much.
This is at
Palomar College. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I became the assistant AD.
Okay.
He named me assistant AD, and it just meant that I had to do all the stuff that he didn't want to do, doing games and announcing a little bit, running tickets, doing all the logistics.
Yeah, I mean, I think I certainly had to do that to get, to where I am.
Sure.
And some people are like opposed to that. Like, oh, I can't work for free. Like, nah, that's how you get in.
You can't, especially
be reliable.
Yeah.
Trustworthy.
Exactly.
Show up.
Exactly. It's something, athletics, sports, it's what people want to do. Mm. And so if you want to get into that, you have to sacrifice. There's no, you look at every big time coach, every single one of them seems to have started from the bottom.
Yeah.
And you just put in the time, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
And so, that's how it started. And from that, I just started, and I told him, hey, you don't got to pay me much, but you just need to you need to help me get the job that I want, and I'll work for you here as long as you need me to, until I can get a career going. And
So I know you needed to get more than coaching golf,
yeah,
but what did you love about coaching golf?
the connection with guys, the fact that I could mentor with a sport that I loved, and I didn't make it to where I wanted to be, and a lot of them wanted, to be on the PGA, and I knew the path. I didn't get there, but I could lead them to a certain point, at least for my time with them. And I really enjoyed like the mental aspect, because I enjoyed the psychology of sports psychology, and especially in golf. I mean, it's really mental, as you can imagine. Physical as well now, a lot more than I think when I was playing. People in a lot better shape, but help them with the mental, even the spiritual a little bit, kind of balance the three phases, mind, body, spirit aspect. So I kind of didn't make it up myself. Of course, there were books and stuff, but I tried to keep my coaching balanced. We'd have sessions. We'd invite speakers like even yourself coming in and from other sports and talking with the guys, and just trying to get them to maybe open up their thinking and develop mentally on the golf course. And we had a lot of success down there. Yeah, we did real well in my 9 years. We didn't win the state championship. We had a couple of SoCals, and we won the conference once. But no, it was the connection with those guys, and watching them after a couple of years really mature. I mean, when guys are 18, 19, they're really young, immature, and then, like I mentioned, maybe off air, when they get to a maturity point, and they come back and they thank you, and they say, "Hey, that was awesome. The way you coached," and that's really touching,
Yeah, it's hard to beat that feeling.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
What makes like a good golfer? Like, if you're a soccer player, you've got control with the ball, you've got speed. If you're a football player, you've got big size. Like, what's a winning characteristic of a golfer? Is it the mentality?
Yeah, it's definitely the ability to slow everything down and be clutch, if you will. Not to narrow your focus, to not be distracted. It's really staying in the moment. I know it's all cliche stuff. It's really hard to do, though. You've got 5 hours out on the golf course, and it's slow. I mean, the shot is not, but the hard part is the time in between.
Waiting around.
The thoughts, you hit a good tee ball and you're in the middle of the fairway, and now you've got your thoughts wandering, as you walk to it, and you're seeing the water, and you're seeing the OB, and you're seeing the problems, and your job is to get down to target ball and reduce everything else. And for a lot of people, it's that meditation is very, very tricky, to not let. When I was a young golfer, hey, what's for dinner? As I'm swinging the stick, right? It's like, hey, I wonder what we're gonna have tonight, and it's just like that.
Not helpful.
No, and so that's that balance right there. And then, I mean, nowadays the physical is huge. I mean, if you watch a PGA, you watch Rory. I mean, he's 6'3", 215 ripped, bombs it 320 off the tee. That wasn't going on except for Tiger when I was young.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody was working out like that. I mean, a few, but so a little bit, physical is really important, but more the mental ability to focus.
Who's your favorite golfer?
Oh man, favorite right now?
Yeah, right now. First one that comes to mind.
I would go Rory, just because he just won.
Yeah.
And I like him as a person. My mother's from England, and he's not from England, but UK, and I appreciate the attitude. Tiger's right up there. To do what he's done, it's pretty incredible. I mean, that's probably the greatest player that I've ever seen play. But Rory's up there, and there's a few others. I used to like Phil, but not so much anymore.
Have you gone to pro events?
Oh yeah. I've been to a few. I went to the 2000 U.S. Open when Tiger won by 15 shots, and that was talk about focus. I was on a tee and up on the ropes, and he was coming into the tee box, and it's a mob. And I'm trying to make funny faces, like trying to make eye talk,
Trying to get his attention.
Trying to get his attention, and the lasers he didn't see anything. I mean, there's these, like a camera like this. There's bazooka lenses lined up all the way down the fairway, and he's not seeing any of it. And there's no cracking. He was not to be, to fold or to. You just watched him. His heart rate would go down, and it was just easy. Then again, he's doing it since he's 2 years old, so he was built different.
Yeah. It's interesting. All the elite athletes, they think differently than everybody else.
Yeah, it's easy to see the difference, right? Even in any sport. Like even yesterday at the Super Bowl, you can see, even though Mahomes didn't have a great day, he's still different. Mm-hmm. How he handles his business. He was getting roughed up.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, like, the only competition he thinks of is himself. It's like him versus him, and if he's the best, if he's at his best, he believes he can beat anybody. Yeah.
Except for yesterday, he had
four
guys he was dealing with up front. But no doubt. I mean, it's again cliche, but the mental aspect at that level is you got to be head and shoulders, and that's why he's always winning.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the OC athletes.
Okay.
What makes them special? What makes them unique? Or maybe what do you see? They need to work on.
Well, we'll start with ask me what makes them special. Well, they commit to OC. Whether it's for the coach, depending on what their goal is. But obviously, once they say, okay, I want to come to Oxnard, we're small enough where we can take a personal interest in them, my staff and, myself. And we get a certain athlete in. I mean, mostly local. We're probably, 95% local from Oxnard or the county. And it depends on the sport, right? Because they all have their own personality. But they're driven, most of our kids are hardworking. They're working, they're taking care of family. They're going to school. They're playing, so
it's a lot.
There's a lot. If they're practicing 10 hours and they're playing 10 hours and they're working 20, 30, 40 hours and then they're trying to go to school, that's special. Yeah, I can no longer do what they're doing. And so the drive, when they're really putting all that time into it, they don't have time to mess around. So they're driven and they're serious about their craft. So that's special, and what was your other question?
What's like a typical challenge for
Well, that was it. I mean, some even struggle, with basic needs. They don't have proper nutrition. Some are couch surfing. Some, like I said, are working their way through college. So the financial obligations, helping their families, and so that's when when I can see that, it's like we can't give them help. We can't give them financial help, but we can certainly support them in other ways. We can support them with, we've got a nice new project going right now. We call it the Nest. We've got a classroom off the side of our offices, and it's we're trying to bring all our student services into that into that office or into that space. Like I said, we're calling it a nest. I've got business on the left. There's some desks, like, about 15, and then on the right we've got like some couches and bean bags. We're starting to making it look a little more friendly. We're bringing mental health specialists 2 days a week. We're bringing in tutoring a couple days a week, and we've also got some counseling from time to time coming in there. So it's a place, and some snacks. That brings them in for sure. You bring the snacks in, and they're coming in. But that kind of support definitely will help.
Is Oxnard College cost a lot of money?
No.
Is it?
No.
What's like a semester?
So if you can get 2 years for free for sure. You fill out your FAFSA, and you get you get the what is it, the California Promise, and so you get at least 2 years for free, and if you qualify for financial aid, it doesn't cost you much. It's just there's some little basic fees in there, some books, stuff like that, but really really affordable. My kids went there. It was a great experience for them, and it was able to save some money and then go spend it at the 4-year. But no, it's very affordable, and the quality of instruction is really really high.
Is that the goal for all the students and athletes to continue on to a 4-year school?
Not all, but the majority. They've got someone trying to get into like a career technical education. We've got a lot of good programs there, whether it's we've got HVAC, we've got culinary, we've got some programs there, dental, and we have a 4-year degree. We have a bachelor's degree in dental as well.
Really?
Yeah, just qualified for that. So that's a new program.
So you have some 4-year programs? One,
yeah, and I think looking to grow. So I know a lot of 2 years are starting to develop a 4-year program. So yeah, that's big. I mean, the dental program there is renowned, and as is our fire tech and public safety is way up there for the career stuff. And then, like I mentioned, majority are looking to go to a 4-year, the state school or UC. And last year we can boast we had 75% of our eligible sophomores transferred. So that was a pretty good number. 75%, yeah.
What's the typical school they go to? Like, if there was one or two?
We get a lot of course, Northridge. We get, to Santa Barbara, Channel Islands if they're not going to continue sports because they don't have any, athletic teams. And then some of the smaller schools, we get a lot of our athletes that transfer, with scholarships to NAIA, D2, D3. Cal-Lu is a big transfer school for us. So mostly, local. But if I always tell the athletes, hey, if somebody's offering to give you money to go play the sport that you love, go. And the smaller schools, actually, education-wise, I think you get a better personalized education at some of the D2, D3 NAIA institutions. Everybody I want to go to UCLA or USC or, whatever.
They're huge schools.
They're huge.
Yeah.
San Diego State, I was a number.
Yeah.
I was a red number, 890012, whatever it was, right? It's like nobody knew my name or anything. But if you go to a smaller school, and like Oxnard, most people will get, especially our athletes, they'll get to know them personally. And I say, hey, that's where you get a benefit.
It's there's a richness to being a part of a community, and you get that feeling more easily at a smaller school.
Absolutely, yeah. Our soccer team developed it's just a one word, the juntos. They play together, and during the first championship team in 2015, they developed that phrase, and it's the togetherness, and it's the family that really pushed them, into. We talked about the mental fortitude of elite athletes, but that togetherness on your sport, really paid dividends.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah. getting guys motivated and confident in themselves and each other.
Yeah.
Really can.
Oh,
Powerful team.
yeah. They were. I don't know if they were the most talented, but they were, during the championship, and it was probably because of the Juntos attitude that they brought. Yeah.
Is soccer the most successful sport?
Per championships, yeah, athletically for sure. I mean, we have 2 state championships, in the last, 10 years. We're
Both
actually,
soccer?
yeah, 2015 and 2022. So, 7 years in between. Coach Ross Greeny put together some terrific squads, and brought a lot of attention to our school, especially soccer-wise. So we get, whereas a lot of the local athletes might go to, the other 2 schools to play. Ventura doesn't have men's soccer, but
Right.
They definitely, flood to Oxnard to get a piece of that Juntos and that team play that we've developed. So, yeah, we're actually we haven't announced this yet, but publicly, but we have a Hall of Fame, and this year our one inductee is the 2015 men's soccer team. So that'll be a special celebration.
That's awesome.
Yeah. First state champion at our school, and a great bunch of guys. So
who do they play for the state championship? Is it all of California?
the state, yeah. So it's a tough tournament to get through.
Yeah.
The playoffs. You play 3 regional events, in Southern California, and then the top 2 teams from the south and the top 2 teams from the north go meet at the state site, and then they play. They play the semifinals, and then 2 days later on a Sunday they play the state championship. Yeah, it's a great format. It's like the Final Four. It's like March Madness.
Where was it?
That one was up in, I think that was that Evergreen, I think, or no, San Jose. Okay. That first one in 15, and then this last one in 22 was in Sacramento.
All the way up there.
Yeah, both
Not
north.
much of a neutral site.
No, they bounce around the sites. From I think it's every 2 years they switch sites. They've had it at Ventura here.
Okay.
Yeah, we got beat.
But you weren't in it at that point.
Oxnard was. I think we were 3rd that year. Got beat by Fresno City or somebody in the semifinals. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a bad call. Oh. Somebody was offsides, but that's another story.
You need the VAR.
Somebody didn't wave that flag. I was sitting right in line, and the sun was, the sun comes into the football stadium at Ventura, mm-hmm. and she was on the side, and the sun was coming in, and I could kind of see pretty well, and he must have been 5 yards offside, but the sun's right at her, and he just let him go. He had 1v1 with our goalie and chipped him, and that was all she wrote. I was like, oh, soccer's brutal, like a cutthroat. Yeah. I mean, 1 goal is like,
yeah.
I thought we were better, but I'm biased. So
that was against Fresno, you said?
Fresno City, yeah. That was when was that? That was before, I think, our first championship. I think that was before. I'm mixing up my dates.
So it's always been a pretty successful team.
Oh yeah. When I got there 16 years ago, we were okay, but he's really developed, I think, in his coaching style and really has utilized it.
What's the coach's name?
Ross Greeny.
Ross Greeny.
Yeah.
He's still the coach.
He's still the coach. Yeah.
I have to have him on.
Oh, absolutely. He'd love to be. I think he worked for Fusion back in the day. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. He's been around the county a few times, probably. I think he's a director at Over the Hill. I forget his the club team, but
at Oaks, probably.
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Yeah.